Hi, thanks for watching. I'm going to tell you how to make this delicious skillet meal and it's also it's gluten-free, vegan, um, delicious skillet meal here for you to enjoy. Okay, so first thing you want to do is do the black-eyed peas, right? You got to cook them first, unless you want to use a can. That's okay if you want to use a can. Um, but if not, you want to take your black-eyed peas and wash them, and you want to put about 2 inches of water. You want to cover them with about 2 inches of water over the top of them, and then you want to bring them to the boil. You can put some salt in there, and I always put some marjoram in. Whenever I make dried beans, I always use marjoram. To me, it just makes them always good. So you can do that. You can also add a little bit of dill if you have dill. That works good in there also. So you want to bring them to a boil. Then you turn it down to a medium, and you probably want to cover it. Uh, and it's going to take at least an hour for the beans to get soft and be ready, and they'll swell up and get soft. If you don't if you're busy and you don't want to have to check them often, you might figure 2 hours, and you can put them on a very low heat, and then you don't have to check them as often, because you do have to check that there's still water in there. If they start to get dry, you got to add water, and you want to stir them a little bit every once in a while and just check the water. So 1 to 2 hours for the black-eyed peas. Some people soak them overnight. It's really not necessary, but that you just want to cook them till they get soft. And while you're cooking the black-eyed peas, you can do the rice also. And a lot of people have a problem with rice. They think it's hard because they burned it one time or whatever, didn't come out right. Rice is one thing you have to really measure. You have to do exactly double the amount of rice. So normally a recipe calls for 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. Since I'm just one person, and I will just make a half a cup of rice and a whole cup of water, and that'll last. It's good if I have company, or it'll give me some leftovers. Um, so use as much rice as you need. You figure that out, right? You want to make a half a cup or a whole cup will serve a family size. Um, So in the rice, all you do is add a little salt. You could put some turmeric for your health if you want. Um, you can, I like to put just a little spoonful of, you could do either oil or butter. And I do the butter that's half olive oil, half butter. And I do just about a teaspoon of that in there. Makes the rice very nice. You bring that rice to a boil. You bring the water first to a boil, then you add the rice, then you have to cover it. Important to cover it. Put it down. On my electric stove, I put it on number 3. Um, if you have a gas stove, you have to just put it on a low to medium, like between low and medium type of heat. And you would have to experiment with that a little bit according to your stove. But for me, with my electric stove, number 3 works perfect. 20 minutes, and set the timer. Very important. 20 minutes. Okay? And then your rice will be done. So in the meantime, you're going to take your okra. Now, when you're buying okra, for one thing, I want to say this. Some people think they don't like okra because they had bad okra. They've had a bad okra dish, and I'm sorry about that, whoever had that. But okra can be slimy, and mine does not come out slimy. It can also be woody, and you don't want it to be woody, and I'll tell you how to avoid those things. So when you buy your okra, you want to get nice looking thin okra that's not too long, not too big. Anyway, I say, as big as my finger. I got these crooked arthritic fingers, and they're small because I have small hands, but my finger's like 3 inches perfect. I had a really hard time getting good okra this time. Mostly it was all too big. It looked very nice color green and fresh and big. Big okra, don't ever buy big okra because it's going to be woody and it has big seeds in it. So again, about 3 inches, I would say no more than four. Between 3 and 4 inches is usually good, and not real fat either. So you get your okra, and you probably want to cut off the tips of the okra. I mean, if you want to use the tips, it's not going to hurt anything, you know. But if you want everything to look nice and all, you probably want to cut off the tips, and you're gonna cut it. I'm gonna show you here how here. Okay, here we go. So you put in your pan, you're going to put some olive oil, preferably olive oil or whatever kind of oil you use, but olive oil I would use. And I got it. I'm showing it here cut up with the onion. And so you're going to do those first, and then I would add some veggie sal, which I always push the veggie sal because it's really good with most green vegetables. Taste good with that, and it's all healthy and everything. So then you're going to put also a little bit of I use minced garlic in the little jar, and that's what I like if you're on the budget. And this is not an expensive meal, you know, but if you're on the budget, you can get the minced garlic at the Dollar Tree. So then you cut up some tomato. Now, a medium-sized tomato is what I used with the half a cup of rice. Plum tomatoes will work good. This was just a regular tomato. Um, and you can use some red pepper would also be good in there if you want to chop up some red pepper. Don't have to, but you can also do the rotel if you want, because that's is the tomato and the I think it has peppers in it and tomato, and that would work in there good too. Only it's going to add a lot more liquid, so you don't want it too runny with the liquid. So that's basically it. You're going to have it on a medium temperature, um, maybe a number 4 on the stove or a 3 on the electric stove, but pretty much medium heat. And you just stir it you watch it and stir it a little bit, not constantly. You don't stir many things constantly. Don't stir it constantly. Every couple of minutes, you look at it and stir it. And then you can add your rice. When the vegetables are soft, you just want the okra tender, you want the tomatoes cooked, you want the onion transparent. And when all that's done, then you add your rice. And there you go. You just pour that rice in there, and I have it drizzled with the hot sauce. Okay, so you want to use whatever kind of hot sauce you like, Tabasco, Louisiana, Texas Pete, whatever kind. To me, they're all the same, but that's what you do on there. And then you mix it all together. Whoops, what happened? Oh, sorry. Okay, there you go. All done. Your very healthy, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free skillet dinner. And if you are not all those things, um, I would recommend maybe some cornbread on the side, do it Southern style, or you could do it Mexican style with some tortilla chips and nacho sauce on top, cheese sauce on top. That's delicious. It goes perfectly with it. And if you have to have meat with your meal, now you have good protein in there. You don't need the meat, but if you have to have meat with your meal, I would suggest fried chicken or pork chops or ham. Um, any of those would be really good with it. So I hope you enjoy, and God bless you. I hope you have a very happy new year. And if you believe in luck, I hope that happens to you. God bless.